Knack, 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 knack. We're back.
Knack.
We're back.
I've got a mic. The joke is over.
David's got a
We
mic.
can hear you crisp
Yeah.
and clear.
Look at
Devid.
Crisp and
Chevy's
clear.
dying. Devid's got a mic. Things are happening over here.
Dev, you sold some profits for the mic, or how'd you pull this one?
Yeah, how'd you afford that mic?
You know, some people trade coins and some people go on layer 3 and earn. So I've just been earning and sold all those tokens that I've been earning over the last year, just grinding in L3, and that's how I got the mic.
I love it.
I love it.
Congrats,
I
man.
love
I'm happy
it.
for
We're
you.
so back.
Some people trade, some people earn.
We're so back. We are so back. How we doing, guys? How we feeling?
Feeling
doing
pretty
good.
good, man. There's a lot going on. Definitely a lot of emotions swelling in my corner of the world over here that I think we'll get into. But crypto's up today specifically, so I think we're feeling good on this
Yeah, I
day
think so.
specifically.
What's
Daddy
ETH at?
Trump? Daddy Trump is on the way to save crypto.
Exactly.
Daddy Trump is on the way to save the day.
That's good. That's better. It rhymes.
That's the line of the week. Daddy Trump is
ETH's
on the
up
way to save the day.
8% today. $3,500. Not bad.
If-
Not bad.
If this was like the early 2000s, that would be like the headline on newspapers.
But
I don't-
keep in mind that XRP is up 11%. So who's
Oof.
the real winner of the day here? You know?
Is I think the real is XRP gonna flip ETH?
I saw that
Does this actually
yesterday.
happen? AIXBT said in about a month. I saw that somewhere. We can
I
pull it
know.
up. He said AIXBT, who sometimes hallucinates, I think often hallucinates, said 1 month in one of his responses to people.
That was David put me on to AIXBT at 25 mil market cap, I want to say, maybe 40 mil market cap.
Wow.
890 mil.
I'll tell you what, of the group, I usually look at Lucas for advice when it comes to this stuff. Lucas, how you feeling? Is XRP gonna flip ETH? Where are we at, Lucas?
I think it might happen on the short term, but it's just been a
No.
volatile market going up and down.
No.
Look, it happens so many times in the cycles of like XRP flips Ethereum or Bitcoin Cash did at one moment. Like I think just ETH gets ragged on as that number 2 slot, and it's not impossible. I don't know.
Bitcoin Cash, that's a throwback.
Dude,
Yep.
It happened.
Yeah.
It's a famous meme from Vitalik of congrats on this. Seriously.
Mm-hmm.
It's a great meme.
I'm still looking at
But
Ethereum
look-
Classic here.
Yeah. Look, we got Trump Daddy coming into the office next week. We're back. I don't know. Man's been buying ETH like crazy. It'll be interesting for sure. I don't know what's going to happen, but judging by how the market's going right now, the cycle's going, ETH is taking its sweet, sweet time. So
Trump
We'll see.
likes ETH.
he does.
His
He's
sons,
got a DeFi
the
project.
kids like ETH. I don't know if he
Barron.
knows what's going on.
I think
Barron
Barron
likes
is Chevy.
Barron likes ETH. Barron's an
Barron
ETH
is so
boy. He's
based,
a
and it's
DeFi boy.
probably Barron has way more influence on this like administration than I think people give it credit for. I think Trump
Is
is
the
using
market
him as
on
like the
Barron's back?
Zoomer. What?
The market riding Barron's back. Is that what's going on over here?
I think we're pumping off of Barron. Yeah.
Wow.
Have you guys
Whispering
seen
into
the
Daddy's ear, saying
conspiracy that Barron's a time traveler? Anyone know
I've seen
about
that.
this?
I've seen that.
It's pretty good.
Wait, what
Unpack
is that?
for us, Coop?
I mean, I'm gonna butcher this, Devid. So color in the lines. But basically, there's a story that Tesla invented a time travel machine, and then the Trumps bought that
Nikola Tesla.
Nikola Tesla.
Early 1900s, Nikola Tesla.
Yeah, bought a time travel machine or made a time travel machine. It was acquired by the Trumps in some way, shape, or form. And then there's a book written called like The Adventures of Barron, and it's like him as like a kid in like 1950s, and then his dad's named Donald, and it's like written by the richest person in the world is named Elon at the time in the book from like the 1930s or some shit. So people think that Barron's
Checks
a time
out.
traveler.
Checks out.
Checks out. Makes sense.
Checks out. Makes sense.
That was a deep TikTok rabbit hole that came up on my For You page at 3 a.m. in these last glorious moments of TikTok.
Yeah,
I
there
think
is a
That's
lot
actually,
going on.
dude, the red note stuff is so funny. I've been seeing that pop up, and I just think this like assimilation between like American culture and Chinese culture is really fucking funny. And
Yeah,
Is that the
I
new
love it.
app that people are flocking to?
it's effectively China's like TikTok.
Mm.
And with the upcoming ban or like the tentative ban of TikTok, a lot of American people are going to Red Note and like starting to like dub their content in Chinese and like just like
Crazy.
merge these two cultures, which I think politically are adversaries,
Opposite.
maybe, but like on a
Well, it worked.
societal
Because TikTok's not
cultural
going to get
level.
banned now, apparently. People are saying
You
there's
think
a
so?
really, really high chance now that it's getting pushed back 270 days, specifically because of everyone flocking to Red Note and like just the response from the American people to be like, all right, well, you guys were worried about this app that was controlled by China. We're going to go on an actual app that's controlled by China.
Is
We don't give a
Daddy
fuck.
Elon gonna buy TikTok? That's the other rumor flying
No,
around.
no.
Let's go to the
If he
markets
bought,
here.
if he did buy TikTok,
Ooh,
wow.
nice
Yeah.
pull there, Lukey.
See, this is why we look at Polymarket, you know? It looks like it's getting pretty spicy, but this one's also until May 25. Like I've heard of like
Mm.
this week, you know, next
Yeah, well, the
week.
hearing's on the 19th.
Right. So I think this is interesting, but looks like the market is pricing that it's getting banned.
Is there a market for Sunday though? Like whether it gets banned by Sunday?
I might take the no on that. And the fact that Lucas just spelled TikTok with a space is everything you need to know about him,
Oh,
his
shut
daily
up.
usage of TikTok.
Shut up, you fucking
Oof.
bitch. Shut up. Delay. 24% chance that the Supreme Court delays
What are
the
those
TikTok
kids
ban.
doing on TikTok over there?
And the ticky tacks. All right, buddy. Look, dude, I don't have TikTok. All right, man. I'm just a boomer.
So this seems like Polymarket's pretty confident this shit's getting banned on Sunday.
Yep. I might take the other side of that.
All right, put your money
Yeah.
where your mouth is. Get in there.
Yeah,
Share your
let's get in the
screen.
game,
Share your screen. Drop
Might
10K.
have
Go,
to.
Coop.
Let's go.
Go.
Coop.
Have to.
Let's
Sell
go.
Let's
Sell
get a
those,
live ape here.
You guys think I have 10K USDC on Polygon? Also, I've never traded on Polymarket because I'm in the US and I'm not able to. There's no way to do it. So,
Right.
you know.
Right.
Yeah, there's
right.
absolutely no way. And on this public
Right.
podcast, I need to make it clear that I've never traded on Polymarket.
Right.
Right.
One thing's
Yeah.
for sure is that Gen Z loves China. That's a takeaway. For some
I think-
reason, Gen Z loves China.
I don't think it's they like
it's a good
China. I
thing.
think they just like to say fuck you to the government and like telling them what to do is really the motivation behind it. It's not
Mhm.
necessarily love China.
So be
Like,
radical. Be radical. Go against the
Sounds
grain.
like
That's
us in
what's up.
crypto.
Yeah.
pretty much.
So Adam,
Yes.
Agent Chevy, there's
Yes.
another thing that I saw on Twitter/X that I don't know if it's true, but it said you could buy a ticket to the crypto ball. I don't know if people know about this. Apparently, there's going to be a crypto ball the night of Trump's inauguration because he is the
True.
first crypto president. And I saw that tickets go for $5K. Would you or wouldn't you? $5K to go to the crypto ball, assuming that's true.
By the way, you're just selling me on the name Crypto Ball, and I have to make a decision based off that. Like,
It's
am I
the
worried?
crypto ball. It's the
the
party
crypto
the
ball.
night of Trump's inauguration.
Is this in Washington? Where is this?
It's in the District of Columbia, Washington, D.C. Daddy Trump's going to be there.
Do I
Time
get a plus
Traveler
one?
Barron's going to be there.
I'm Traveler Baron.
Do I
The whole
get
gang.
do I get a plus one?
I don't know. All I saw on Twitter was someone saying that the tickets were $5,000. I don't even know
Honestly,
if that's true.
if it's a high profile event, it's worth it.
I think so too. I thought it was cheap. I was like, if that's
It's either-
true, $5,000.
It's either that or like an ETH conference. You know, you
Right.
know what I mean? It's like you're basically spending the same. I feel like you'd
Would
get
you
more
rather
alpha.
go to the crypto ball or ETH Denver? I'm going crypto ball.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll take the over on crypto ball.
What do you guys think Trump is going to do first, the second he's in office, when it comes to crypto?
The ETH Strategic Reserve.
Is it really?
No, I'm
Or
kidding.
you just
No,
pulling that out of your
I'm
ass?
trolling.
Okay.
I'm trolling.
I haven't been following it. I just see Trump, Barron, crypto market go up, and I'm happy. But I haven't been following policy. Have you guys? Or we're all
Do I
just
look
like
I'm
small.
following policy.
We're
Chevy?
small braining this
Do I
entire
look
thing. All right, next
Small
question.
brain policy.
Trump
What, I look
equals
like
good
Nick
for
Carter.
crypto.
You want to ask about what's going to happen? You talk to Nick Carter, man. That guy's got policy down to a science.
All right, Farcaster product tokens.
Yep. Now we're talking.
Now we're talking. That's more
Take us
our
take us back
reason.
to the agenda, Soup. Come on, keep us on track. Keep us on track.
Look, Farcaster product tokens. Coop, I'm pulling up your fucking tweet right now. Let's see what you
Cast,
got for us here.
thank you very much.
Cast, excuse me. I apologize, Dan Romero.
It's okay.
In advance.
Forgive you.
Let's see what he's got here. List of Farcaster
67
product
likes.
tokens.
Not bad.
I'm tracking. I'm
400,000
excited about.
followers.
Can I fucking segue into this for the love of God without getting interrupted? Thank you. List of
Go on.
Farcaster product tokens I'm tracking and excited about from Koopatroopa.eth. Bracket Game, X-Bracky, Veil, Anon, Banker, Clank Fun, Native, Terminal, Clank Sub, Bleu, and Henlo. Coop, what's the rationale behind this list? What's going on
Wait,
here?
I have a question before you explain the rationale. Can you define, in this case, like FC product token versus base token?
Yeah, these are all projects that are like mainly building their communities on Farcaster. And they pretty much all, for the most part, launch their tokens using Clanker, with the exception of the last two.
Got
and
it.
maybe Veil too. But I just feel like there's like this burgeoning ecosystem of like 1 to 10 mil cap tokens. They launched a product. They're really highly active on Farcaster. They launched a token through Clanker, and now there's like this cool, almost like incubator vibe that feels like it's going on. If you look at that reply there with Banker, I actually bought $10 of all those tokens in that thread, which was pretty cool.
$5.
Funded my wallet, got it to buy me some tokens. But I don't know, I just feel like it's a cool space to watch. You know, it feels like this demographic of projects that are just like in the wild with liquid tokens when they're still like really early on in their product life cycle is like a pretty interesting space to me.
Banker's an AI token?
Banker is like a AI bot that does transactions for you. Yeah. You go like, buy me $5 of these tokens, and it does it.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Have these all
DeFi
recently launched?
AI, as the market likes to say, you know, hot trend,
Hot
DeFi.
trend. Gaining mind share.
gaining
DeFi.
mind share.
I feel like
DeFi.
we're
Wait,
AI
are these
fi
all-
people. No?
What do you say?
AI fi? Are you DeFi AI? What the fuck? DeFi?
DeFi.
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 Fuck that. That's
DeFi.
DeFi.
I like
Oh,
Chevy.
we already
Chevy
have
said.
DeFi, bro.
No,
No,
there's
but you forgot to add an
DeFi.
A in there.
No,
It's
there's DeFi.
breaks
There's
my
DeFi.
brain.
No,
Yep.
Soup. It's super simple. There's DeFi and there's DeFi.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm tracking.
yeah.
AI
Chevy's on
fi
it.
sound it rolls off the tongue. AI
No,
fi.
no.
Oh my god.
No AI fi.
What was the other option that we had when we were like the industry was discussing what the acronym for DeFi should be? Oh, like OpFi. That was another one. You guys
TradFi.
remember that?
Forgot about this.
Open finance versus decentralized
Open finance. That was it.
Yeah. Big difference. I don't know. AI fi feels like the winner to me, but maybe
So
I'm
my
wrong.
question is, has anyone on this call used any of the products that I mentioned in that list?
Yeah.
No.
I
No.
big fan of Bracket Game.
Oh, yeah. Bracket Game.
Veil.
What is this? What is this? A product and token podcast or no?
I think I've
this was a
interacted with
product and
Anon. I
token.
haven't posted
So
with Anon.
I'm just curious. We have a product and token podcast, and then half of the podcast people here have not done the product
Half.
or token.
75%. What do you put
Does
yourself in the
Blow-
category?
Does
David
Blow
and,
have does
David and
Blow have
Chevy.
a product?
They're launching an agent this week.
Oh, nice.
It's called cocaine. That's what it is. That's what it
Look,
is.
I
Have you
think
used it
a
before?
FAR terminal could be 10x higher if they just had the acronym FART, FART, right?
It's a
Like that would be 10x higher, right?
That's a good take. Yes.
That's really
I agree.
that's really your guys' sophisticated take on this list of products. Is that FAR terminal could be higher if it was spelled fart instead? This
I
is
think
the type of
I think-
information
I
we're
think-
disseminating to
I
our,
think
our
Lucas-
amazing audience.
I think
Mhm.
Lucas is giving an honest take to the market.
It's just a fair. It's how the market's pricing this stuff. He needs a little
Yeah,
bit
like,
of
yo,
meat
guys,
here.
look at all this list of cool projects building on Farcast. And Lucas goes, I think this one could trade 10x higher if it was called fart instead.
Dude, have you seen Le Bleu Elephant, buddy? Have you seen that?
I
shit?
saw that.
It's-
I saw
I mean,
that.
do we need
pump.
to bring up the picture for the blue elephant?
I think you
We
should
don't need to
it
bring
up.
up the picture,
it.
but we do need to be mindful of that candle that happened last week. That was pretty good.
Why? What's going on with Bleu here, Coop?
We're watching an agent, man. The elephant's coming to life. The elephant's alive.
He's going
What's
to
he
be a
gonna do?
self-sustaining, dick-sucking elephant.
Yep.
All right. Bullish.
You guys are like in this secret society. We gotta define this stuff for the audience. What are you guys talking about here?
Well, in what regard, Chevy?
This is what we're talking about.
Oh,
This is
the dick sucking
there you go.
elephant.
There you go.
Got it.
The dick-sucking
Literally.
elephant explained. Pretty
I'm
self-explanatory.
surprised and happy this thing's coming back to life. I remember when it launched.
I
Candle.
regretfully sold some around here. All of it. Said peace.
Yeah.
I'm done.
My regret of the day is my Henlo sells, which I posted about on Warpcast yesterday too. Henlo's doing big
84
numbers
mil.
these days.
Wow,
Big numbers for base.
Wow.
This is a sizable market cap for a Farcaster coin. No, Coop? 84
Yeah,
mil?
I would say that the Henlo team would laugh at calling it a Farcaster coin, but I think that the reason I call it a Farcaster coin is because it was out of on-chain Gaius, and everyone who had on-chain Gaius got an airdrop here. But I just aped in on Henlo the day it launched at like 1 mil cap, 0.5 ETH, and I've just been selling the whole time. And my cast was basically just that time and time again, I do worse by thinking that I'm selling the top than just holding it and not doing anything. It's like a continuous cycle.
I was listening to that Raul Paul thread guy stream.
Yeah, it was great.
And Raul was pretty much just like going through his flow of like, look, I timed the market like really well. Bought Bitcoin at like 200, got out at 2K, came back in at like, 1300 or like 5K after the following cycle. And was just sitting there as like, all I had to do was just do nothing for a decade and I would have been 10x higher, and instead I just traded. And I really think that there's something to that. I think the downside, or at least from my experience, I've just been on the bad end of like just holding stuff and round tripping it. So I think that there is like an interesting balance of like, where you draw the line of just do nothing and hold it versus actually try and trade it because you don't want to go down to zero again.
Well, I think that's why NFTs were actually good in a lot of ways last cycle, is that you kind of had like a dynamic yes or no button. It's like either I hold this thing that's worth a lot or I sell it. And it was basically like a one-time trade. I think that one of the catches with this new cycle with all these fungible tokens, which isn't new by any means, but just thinking about the big winners here, is that you could just ride your CryptoPunk to like 75 ETH, 100 ETH, ride the Bored Ape to 100 ETH, and then it's just like a yes or no eject button, versus now it's like it's so easy to take profits that it can actually be to the detriment if you do end up catching the right trade,
Yeah, do we want to talk more about this thread guy stream real quick?
Yeah, I would just say that the streams have been so fun and entertaining. I don't know if you guys have like taken time to like just sit in and just be in the chat and whatnot, but I genuinely feel like this is like the best source of real-time energy and excitement around like what's going on in the crypto market. And I think that this form factor is just fascinating and something that I'm really, really into.
Yeah, I think this is the first time I tuned into a stream outside of, I've done like Dan Romero and Jesse Pollock, and then I tuned into this one as well. I just thought it's Thread Guy does a really good job of just being like the Zoomer perspective, and doing it on Twitch, I think is such an interesting kind of playbook there for him. I really thought it was interesting, mostly how like mid curve maybe Raul was on AI, or maybe it was like the right side of the curve. I'm still trying to decipher where he's at with it, but effectively his take was none of the innovation in AI is happening on the crypto level. We're pretty much just building these like very fancy kind of chat bots that do like basic tasks. And there's really no innovation happening here. So it's extremely hard to invest in this space and be confident about it. With respect of like render and BitTensor and all that, we're like the first half of the year, now it's virtuals and all that, and AI 16Z. And there's just no confidence on being able to like have conviction in these things when the space is moving so fast, right?
I didn't watch it from beginning to end. I saw different clips people posted, but it seems like at one point he kind of got it. And he was basically saying like if somebody could tokenize character.ai, which is this platform where you create your own character, and it's all using a different base model on the back end, but that would be really interesting. And that is effectively like what AI 16Z and virtuals do. Like you're using Claude or whatever large language model on the back and then customizing it and having like a personality or character. And I think in that moment, like Frank and Thread break it down for him. And then you see him like write down a couple things. So I think if there was a poly market for this, I'd say within 2 weeks, Raul gets it. And there's a couple that he starts to like.
Yeah, he pretty much
Lucas-
killed himself on like GOAT on the call. It was just being like the canonical kind of like crypto punk of AI coins. Because it was really the first one. But sorry, Coop, go ahead.
Why don't you give our guy Thread guy a follow there, man? I feel like he's working hard. We're pulling him up on the stream. I feel like he earned it.
All right, we'll give
Let's
it to him.
go. Give him a
There he is.
follow.
You're welcome,
There we
Thread
go.
guy. You're welcome.
You should
Bro's
give
on a
Tro-
generational run. It's also his birthday today, so we have to give him
Hey,
some flowers.
Lucas, how about you subscribe to his profile?
Yeah, why don't you subscribe?
Go ahead.
Let's see how much this
How about you
costs.
go and he's hard at work here. You might as well just give him a
$5
tip.
a month.
You know?
$5 a
I
month?
did
Not
subscribe
bad.
on Twitch for what it's worth to support the stream.
Soup, that's nothing for you. Go ahead, run it.
I
Yeah.
think that's a
What is up with
couple-
Chevy trying to get us to throw down bread on the podcast? He's like, why don't you go down and bet $10,000 on this TikTok case right now?
I think you
Go
should
ahead and
give.
throw
I think
Thread
while
guy.
we're at, give Mando a follow. He deserves one too, Lucas.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, why
Like,
don't you give
who the
Mando?
fuck is
Give
Mando?
Mando a follow. Like guys working hard. Guys does
Yeah.
a good
And
You're
Anybody
job.
not
else?
following. You're not following.
Look at that
Crazy?
DeFi AI right there. DeFi. Look at that, Lucas.
DeFi.
DeFi.
Fuck
DeFi.
that, dude. AI fi.
DeFi.
I'm gonna die on the AI fi hill.
Dude, Lucas,
I
your
gotta say,
Twitter is
I'm
an
really-
anomaly to me. Bro doesn't follow Pranksy or
doesn't
Snowfro or
follow
Gordon
Snowfro.
Goner.
Like, can we talk about how good? Can we talk about how good the X recommendation engine is right now?
Yeah.
Like, this
really
is
good.
impressive. That
Hey,
like,
Look, we keep the Twitter tight, air fucking tight. All right, we
Yeah,
don't need
clearly.
any bullshit happening on the TL. All right,
I'm curious if he even follows any of us on this call.
Yeah, he does.
nah, dude, fucking losers.
he doesn't follow us.
Yeah.
Nah.
You'll thank us later. You'll thank us
I
later.
just can't do Coop's takes all the time. Like the
What do you
just
I
mean
know.
that
you
it takes
know,
all the time?
just
Well,
I don't know.
apparently he has one coming out tomorrow morning.
Oh,
Cooped
It's
up.
coming out. It's going to be out by the time of this podcast being published.
There it
You
is.
wanna-
We'll run
you
it,
got-
Coop.
you got some documentation for us to go off of?
I mean, I don't know if it's a take. It's just a 2024 recap of Coop Records. You know, some highlights, some things that I'm excited about that we accomplished this year. You know, just some hype building. Nothing but a little hype building. You know,
What are you most proud of 2024?
the artist that we brought on to Coop Records, which I don't know if that's a great answer or not, but that's my honest answer. It's just like the quality of music that we onboarded, and I think that it was like a night and day step up. And I feel like I have a very clear path towards getting some of the biggest names in electronic music, and I think from there it's going to bubble outwards. But that's what I was the most proud of this year, was both the artist and then actually launching our core product, which we did not have at this time last year.
I was hyped by some of the artists that came on to Cooper X this year, especially Pluko and Disco Lines.
Disco lines.
I collected.
huge.
It was very exciting.
Yeah, I saw Lucas in that
Right.
activity feed the other day, and it fired me up. He said that Disco Lines was what, your second favorite artist of the year?
Look, my top 3 artists I think are all Coop Rex artists.
Yeah, who's number
on
one there,
Spotify.
Lucas?
Good old Daniel.
Chapel
Allen.
Roan.
Daniel Allen, baby.
Oh wow,
We
number
pump our
one.
bags. We support him. I support him. He's like good. He's good work music. You know, you put him
Wow.
on during the
Number
workday.
one.
Yeah,
That's
That's
good
why
stuff.
Lucas is a real one. That's why Lucas is a real one right there, boys. All right.
All right.
Daniel put me on blast one time when we were in Tokyo. Said, "Yo, can you name 5 of my songs?" And I totally blanked. And since then, I've been like, "That's unacceptable."
Mm.
And we turned on
It's
the
his
gas.
favorite
since
thing to
then.
do, especially with crypto people. He just goes, they're all
Yeah.
like, "Oh, I love your shit, man. Your shit's crazy." Like, cool. Can you name 5 of my songs? And most people can't, which is funny, but
I learned my
it's
lesson
good. It's good
the
stuff.
hard way. We're now.
I'm
a
actually
big
going to London on Friday for a little Daniel on pop-up. Should be
Oh,
pretty
wow.
fun. On Saturday night, we're gonna throw a little garage pop-up. He's gonna play a bunch of new music. Koopa Troopa opening up for the night, playing for those London locals. A bunch of Coop Rex
Right.
music.
Oh, Coop's gonna throw down.
And then I'm going to I'm going to be in London for a few days, meeting with a couple of our label partners, a couple of our artists. Then I'm going to Tokyo, and in Tokyo I'm going to be DJing at a little crypto party. So that should be pretty fun.
What's in Tokyo?
I'm going to see Skrillex and Hamdi. So we just started dropping with this artist named Hamdi, and they're playing this big festival in Tokyo. And then I found out one of our other artists, MPH, is playing there on Friday night. So that should be pretty fun.
Nice.
And then just when in Rome, you know what I mean? Japan is a great vibe. Going to pop down to Kyoto for a couple days, do a little
Nice.
shopping, a little
Maybe
Shibuya
a little
Ginza action,
Osaka?
you know what I mean?
Nice.
We know
Just
the
for a
shopping
week.
in Osaka.
And then we're going to come on
Great.
back to LA. We're going to go to Notion in LA on that Saturday night. Notion, banger of a song out right now. The Days remix. It's going crazy. Second song token ever on Coop Records. We're hitting that. And then we go to the East Coast, a little Philly, Boston,
Wow.
DC, Daniel Allen, direct support for two friends. Daniel Allen's hitting the road, and Koopa Troopa's going to be there. Pressing that play button to start the set. Taking those clips. Taking the clips.
Oof. I'm liking the Daniel Allen rebrand. The new look that he has
Yeah.
on Instagram. It's good. From bucket hat to full on suit and
Mhm.
smiley face. I like it. It's happy Daniel.
Content's really elevated. Content
Yeah.
is really elevated the last couple of months, and it's definitely paying off.
Like
I
that
love-
seed round money put into use. I like
That's
it.
right.
We
That's
like
exactly
it.
right.
We like it.
I'm just
Love
happy
that.
for you, Coop. You're really living up your dream as a roadie and just going on the road with your favorite artist.
That's a
One
hell
of
of a
my
trip.
Yeah, it is a hell of a trip. And then after that, the next week is Costa Rica. Little one confirmation, founder offsite.
Nice.
That should be a
Love
vibe.
that.
Did the
And
And then we come
investment
back to LA, February 14th, San Holo at the Palladium. Don't miss it.
Oof.
What do you
We're in
got
the
after
mix,
that,
boys.
Coop?
And then after that, we're going to Sun Valley, bitch.
Oh,
ETH Sun Valley.
East Sun Valley, baby. Little crypto
Speaking of
retreat.
which, Devid, Chevy.
Is anybody here going to Denver?
I really don't want to.
I'm going to the
Good.
crypto ball. I
What
thought we
else?
talked about this.
I mean, crypto ball's on Monday, but is anyone going
Should
to
the
go to
cartel
Denver?
pull up to Crypto Ball? That'd be kind of fun.
I
That'd be
am
lit.
going to go to Sun Valley and not to Denver. Is my current plan of attack.
Nice.
What's in Sun
Wait,
Valley?
Soup, did Devid or Chevy get the invite to ETH Sun Valley? Or
I think
Obviously not.
informal, but I would love
No.
to have you guys out there. If
Oh,
you are,
thanks,
all right,
man.
give him the invite on the pod, bro. Come on.
Yeah.
How
We're
about you give us a
hosting,
follow? Give us a follow and
Yeah,
invite us.
follow him on Twitter first, and then invite them to Sun
Well,
Valley.
yeah, let's get to the follows first. But David, I know you're a little shredder. You like to snowboard.
I'm
ski.
ready to shred. I've never
All right.
I've never been to Sun Valley.
Chevy, I don't know where you stand on the shred
I'm a
scale.
sledder. I'm a
You're a
sledder.
sledder.
I
I
like
feel
that.
you're more in the
Sled.
Coopy
The
bucket
sledder.
of not going to be on the slopes, but it will still be fun. And
Coop, you don't.
I will be
you don't-
DJing at Sun Valley.
that's true. That's true.
Wait, Coop,
February
you
20th to
snowboard? Do you
24th.
ski?
I don't do either. I
Okay.
sled.
Yes.
The sledder.
Now
and I
we're
stay at
fucking
top.
talking.
Lucas said I could just stay at the top of the mountain and just chop it up with people.
All right.
You can go sledding too. There's a
When-
big sled hill with all the kids in Coop.
Really?
Oh yeah.
It's actually
Coop with the
pretty lit.
kids?
Wow.
Coop, that's a good look.
You know,
for
we
you.
could go tubing. There's snow tubing.
I
Pretty
like
fun.
that. I like that.
Snow tubing's fun. I don't know if we have it in. I don't think there is any.
They don't have that in Sun Valley. It hasn't made it
No.
there yet.
It's the weekend of the 21st, Devid.
Of February.
Yeah, Feb. And I should also say it's a very curated invite only situation here. But I'd like to say if someone's listening to the pod and they're this deep into it, maybe can message UXL on Warpcast. He may or may not hit you back.
Yeah.
That's my birthday weekend. Maybe I'll
really?
come out. Yeah.
All right, Chevy, it would be great to have you. Nice little winter wonderland.
You guys gonna fly me
Lucas,
out
why don't
for
you
my
give us the
birthday?
actual pitch on ETHSV, the actual formal?
Yeah.
What is this thing? Why are you doing it?
So ETHSV is a little informal, like 40-person ski retreat of like just skiing and dinners and very casual. Nothing like super work related or like talks or anything like that, but just a bunch of crypto founders, investors, builders hanging out, skiing, chilling
Shredding.
for the weekend in Sun Valley, Idaho, which is always a great time if you've ever been here. And yeah, would love to have the whole cartel out. I know Coop's on board. David,
Nice.
Chevy.
I'll let you know.
Consider this a formal invitation.
Well, thank
Is
you.
that President's Day weekend?
Yeah, it's
Yes.
right before ETH Denver. So pretty much like spend the weekend in Sun Valley, and if you want to go to Denver, you can. There's a direct flight out of here.
Pretty
Nice.
good.
Nice.
Soup, what else we got on that agenda, man?
What else we got on the agenda? We talked Toshi listing on Coinbase. Let's talk about this, and more broadly, like base listing. because it feels like Coinbase has been very sleepy, let's call it.
I have a thesis
about
here.
listing these assets, and I would love to hear Coop's thoughts on this. I don't know if Coinbase is being very deliberate about this, or there are legal restrictions about, conflict of interest, which would be my biggest guess. But I think Coinbase, as a whole from the community, deserves to be or should be being more aggressive about listing base assets as a whole and being more supportive about the tokens in that ecosystem because of all the liquidity and users on Coinbase, the main exchange. It just feels like a very natural thing to do, and it doesn't feel like that has been fulfilled to date. And I think this Toshi listing is maybe the first little taste of that.
So my take here is that Coinbase is just 6 months behind the market. And I think that they're basically reviewing things and it's just taking a while to get through diligence. And so Toshi was at one point in time the biggest meme coin on Base. This was prior to Brett. This was prior to like Degen or Higher, a lot of these other Base meme coins that happened. This was prior to any of like the AI agent tokens that happened. And so my read on it is they're just like retroactively trying to catch up with where the market was at the time of the conversation starting. And so my guess is that Toshi got put into the mix 6 months ago, and then bureaucracy happens, and now Toshi gets listed, and it looks super out of date because this, that moment happened 6 months ago. But I think that they are consciously trying to keep up with what's happening on Base. They just don't have the ability to move at the same speed that the market is, which is why we're seeing all these listings happening so far after the time in which they're already kind of hype in the first place.
Yeah, because I think Coinbase right now, in terms of base assets, they have Degen and now Toshi. And is there anything else?
I think just those for right now. Maybe Aerodrome. Don't quote me on that, but
yeah, that probably feels about right.
I feel like
higher
virtuals should be coming.
Yeah, virtuals. I think the whiffed on AIXBT. I think that was like a big thing that I saw on the timeline this week of like, look, that's a base asset. It's doing tons of volume. It's almost reaching $1 billion market cap right now. Like, and Binance just listed it. Where the hell's Coinbase? They should be realistically the first exchange to be listing these major meme coins or just tokens that have a lot of volume on Base. And it just seems like they're whiffing on that. And I think my guess is it's bureaucracy, Coop, of like what's going on there. But room for improvement would be my take.
Wonder when we're going to see higher.
Hires,
I mean,
think
pump my goddamn bags, Chevy, for the love of God. But do I think that that's going to happen? I think somewhat unlikely currently.
Because Hires what at like 30 mil right now, market cap?
Oh, I wish it was 30 mil, Lucas.
Are we approaching the 1 year anniversary of Hire?
Yeah, I think so.
Pretty crazy.
13. Yeah, no. 500 volume, no shot, unfortunately. Yep. We're missing some zeros on a lot of numbers here for this to get listed on Coinbase. But yeah, dude, like AI
36% today though, boys.
Where we got? Virtuals, $3 billion on Base. Man. $800 million of 24-hour volume, and
that is just impressive.
Where the hell is Coinbase at? Where the hell is Coinbase at?
It's on Gate.io, Lucas. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's fucked.
What else do you need?
It's on Gate.io and a good old KuCoin. And Aerodrome Slipstream.
KuCoin's a fucking classic.
KuCoin is
what is Aerodrome?
Good old KuCoin.
So bad.
I don't know why this hasn't been listed yet.
That's why we're not on the Coinbase listing team, boys.
That's true. That's true. I guess
that's why we all talked about selling our bags too early.
How would you guys approach virtuals right now? Looking at this chart, is this a buy, a sell? Are we going to 10 billion? What are we thinking here?
Well, I don't know if anyone watched the Thread Guy Ansem late night stream a couple nights ago, but virtuals was a topic of conversation here. And Ansem's take is that we're getting a nice little bounce here, but that this thing is probably topped out around $4, a little higher than $4.
Wow.
My take on this is that I don't have a take, unfortunately. I'm holding a very small bag of virtuals to be able to trade some agents when they launch on the platform, which I think is a cool design, but I definitely don't have a big bag of virtuals. And that's largely because of the cope of me missing this entire run up, despite having seen it from pretty much the first day that it came into vogue. So that's my
I think seeing this like first bump up into like yeah, it was probably like a 300 mil market cap here. I was like, oh man, we totally missed this.
Yep.
Just not at all. Like, yeah, this pump was what I saw, and I was like, yeah, I'm not going in on this. No shot. Classic.
Mistakes were made.
In a
Mistakes
wallet that
were,
I control.
yeah, in a wallet that I control. Jesus.
There's a whole
Oh, man,
thread
Coop.
we could go down there on the podcast,
we
but I don't
could.
know if we want to
I
take
mean,
it there or not.
I think they got pretty just fucked on that, to be honest. And I think the community blew it over more than it realistically was. But that's, I don't know. There are things.
I've got a question that ties to this. Virtuals only it'll only go up way more if we get more people in the space. Like, it's pretty, like 4 billion market cap is pretty impressive. Like, it can go to 10, 15, but like something else is going to have to give, and we're just going to be playing the revolving door casino. So yeah, maybe if virtuals is winner take all and AI16Z and Zerebro and a bunch of the others goes away, this thing like 5x's or something. But I feel like over the summer, there was a lot of excitement about bringing new people into crypto. Do you guys feel like that is still very much on the table in 2025 and like new consumers coming in and people using more of these consumer crypto apps? Or have we kind of like topped out and we're going to go up and steady? And yes, Trump's going to be president and there's going to be more people buying Bitcoin than ever. But does that translate to people trading stuff like virtuals, which is pretty, you have to know a lot about crypto or be like pretty hardcore to be buying virtuals?
It's a great question.
I sure hope so, David. I sure hope so.
I know you sure hope so, but what do you think? 1 year time frame, like.
I think I share
Entire
the same sentiment.
AI market cap's 15 bill.
Yeah.
Send it to 100 bill, and then let's talk.
That would be my take. I think the hard part, and I really agree with like Raul's sentiment on this, of like there's just so much innovation that's happening in this space that it's really hard to just make a convicted bet on one of these things. But to say that the AI cycle has topped, I think we're nowhere near that. I just don't know if virtuals is the one to do it right now, or if that's like a just old guard that will be replaced in 6 months because someone actually innovated and did something really interesting that took over the zeitgeist.
Well, I have a question for Devid. As our resident partner of AI16Z, what's going on in the AI16Z cabal world over there, man? Give us the inside scoop.
I think the main thing going on in the AI16Z world is they're coming out with V2, hopefully in February, maybe sooner. And the short versions, V2 is going to make it even easier for people to deploy agents. And if you think about it as like every feature is going to be a plugin that you can, they're Instagram plugin, Twitter plugin. I don't know if we've talked about it on the pod, but there's a butthole plugin so your agent can control butt plug, which is really important for the future of agentic sex workers. And
wait, time out. Wind this shit back.
Let's pause. Let's
you really just took that off the rails. You were getting.
I just had to go. I had to go for it. So if you follow the Eliza project, so there's now a Twitter handle called Eliza OS, and this was true like 3 weeks ago. The number one integration that people were trying to use for their agents is a butt plug, plugin. I forgot what company provides the butt plug, but effectively your agent is able to connect to the butt plug and control the stimulus and vibration. So hypothetically, like Death Pixie's built on AI16Z, built on Eliza, like Death Pixie could literally be your new best friend, or any Eliza agent. Any Eliza agent will have this capability if you pull it and choose to add it to your agent.
He just went so off the rails there. For a second, we were talking about V2, AI16Z, what's coming down the pipeline, and David just went.
What's
David
coming
just
up?
swerved, bend that
You
corner.
wanna know
Whoa.
what's coming down the pipeline?
What's
That's
coming up
down
the pipeline?
What's coming up the pipeline? What's coming up the
I
pipeline?
am scared
And-
about
Oh, Lucas doesn't follow this account either, guys.
this. Dude, oh
Yeah.
my
Elizabeth
God.
Warren.
I'm scared about this search
God.
here.
Yeah, you're
Why are
gonna
you
like
doing
what
it?
you see. There it is, available. Lisa plugin is here. Is that the butt plug plugin? That's not it. That's not.
Why
what
did
you want.
two people bookmark this? This is crazy. Where is this?
David, I think you're
I'm-
hallucinating.
It's.
brother.
I'm not.
About
I'm
the
not.
butt plug.
I'm not hallucinating. You asked what's going on deep in the cabal. This is what's going on.
That is pretty good lore, I'm not going to lie. I think
There is-
another piece of lore that maybe we can zoom out, let's go out, pull out of the rabbit hole for a second here, is my friend David sent me a nice article on prompt engineering this last week.
Mm-hmm.
David, you want to give us a little overview on prompt engineering and why it's important?
Why don't you go for it, Cooper? Because I feel like you. The reason I sent it to you was you. I'm gonna repeat what Cooper said. The most important skill you can have for the rest of this decade is prompting ChatGPT or Claude or whoever your favorite LLM is, because they are all smarter than us. But there's people who are going to be good at prompting and people who are going to be bad at prompting. I'll share a fun fact that speaks to this. My co-founder, shout out Jay Stolar, asked his like 16-year-old cousins if they were using ChatGPT in school. And at first they were like, no, like da-da-da. And he was like, come on, like you can tell me if you guys are using ChatGPT in school. And they said, well, here's the real answer. They're like, the dumb kids all use it. This is like epitome of the left curve, right curve meme, what I'm about to say. It is the left curve, right curve meme. The dumb kids are like, all the dumb kids use it because like they want to use it, but they all get caught by the teachers because the teachers have like AI scanning software. And then they were like, a lot of us don't really use it because we don't want to get caught, so we're not really using it. But they were like, the really smart kids in the class, all of them are using it, but they're really good at prompting and they don't get caught. So like the left curvers and the right curvers are out there prompting. The mid curvers are going to be like, I don't know how to use this. My prompts aren't good enough. Like, I don't have time to learn about prompting. Insert the meme. But
that's so good.
If you're not prompting, you should be. Start prompting.
I'm sorry to hear that your cousin is a mid-curve person.
Yep, that's right. Jay Stolar's cousin's a mid-curve, not David's.
Oh, sorry. Excuse me.
My cousins are fucking brilliant, Lucas. All right.
I believe
I'm a big Claude guy recently. I've been doing a lot of product design in Claude lately, starting a lot of projects, as they would say. Very, very good for mocking out prototypes and being able to basically build an end-to-end clickable prototype with just using chat. And to David's point about prompt engineering, there's an art form there, man. There really is an art form. And I think that at first when David sent me this like doc that was just like a GitHub looking thing about prompt engineering, I was like, what is this, David? But then as I started to like unpack a little bit more, I kind of realized there's a way to talk to these products, these AI products and chatbots to actually get the most out of them. And I think that there really is it's almost like learning a new language is the way that I think about it, you know, just like the way you contextualize what you say and then how you make sure you get the right information in. So I've really been enjoying it, but it's definitely something that's worth taking seriously and looking into for sure.
Are you getting mock-ups out of Claude? Like clickable prototypes?
Yep. Let me see if I can pull one up here. Maybe
I tried to do that like 2 months ago and then I kind of dropped it, but you're making me want to dive back in. I was having some trouble doing that specific thing, getting like a clickable prototype out of Claude.
Let me see if I can find, let me share my screen really quick. So this is what I was talking to it about earlier this week, is we're working on a voting portal for Coop Records where you can use your points to vote on what song token you want to release next. And so I built this whole thing just with chatting with Claude, basically. So designed the whole thing, listed the songs in here, got it to, I'll take you to the beginning so you can see like where it started and then how it kind of evolved. Let's see here. Oh, that's the code. I'm not deploying this code, but it's possible.
I think one of the things that really unlocked for me was like just how you just have to continue prompting it on the same thing. You know, it's not like a one and done thing. You literally have to sit there and do like half-hour an hour worth of just going through iterations to get the right thing. And I think that really
Mhm.
unlocked a lot for me with the potential for this stuff is like, if you just smack your head against the wall with like these LLMs, like you can get pretty far.
So here's
Cooper,
the
did
starting point.
you wait? Quick question before you go. Did you think this was legitimately like? I know you know how to use Figma on a basic level.
Mm-hmm.
Did you feel like this was actually faster than just if you
Bro,
would have done this in Figma?
1,000 times faster.
Okay.
1,000 times faster. And I basically got here, but look at this. I can do vote. I can confirm votes. And then I had like a success state and stuff like that. So I was adding a bunch of components in here after, just like going pretty deep on it and whatnot. And there's like the success screen and whatnot. I have like this read more button that pops up. It's nothing crazy, but I took this and I shared it with my designer, my product designer, and now he's building out this exact thing, but in the format of our product. And he said that it saved him multiple hours of having to basically just like shoot out an MVP that I come back and like challenge and whatnot. So I got a lot of value out of it, and I'm definitely going to be using it for a lot more product ideas moving forward.
I guess
That's
that's my
awesome.
follow-up is how helpful is it for your designer, and how helpful is it for like your engineers to actually have the code behind that? Do they find that valuable, or is it just kind of like throwaway code?
TBD. I don't know the answer on the code side of things. This is my first time like doing this flow, so find out next episode.
Are we going to be able to use our Coop points to vote for what song week comes out next? Is that what's coming, Coop?
We'll vote on what collectible you want to see as a song coin on CoopX.fun.
Oh, I like that.
Yep. So
I
we
like
just
that.
launched staking for song tokens last week. You lock your song tokens for 90 days and you get Coop points. And the question now is like, what are these Coop points for? How do I use them? So we're basically going to be doing rounds where we serve up, 5-10 collectibles that came out on Coop Records. And you vote on your favorite one that gets released on a song token on CoopX.fun. And then we use that song token to fund our campaigns for the collectibles on CoopX.xyz.
Pretty good.
Coop,
Pretty
I think
good.
this is a really good segue into an agenda point that you put up was being a founder / building a product is really hard, and would love to hear more about your experience right now. I think we all have experience in the past like 12 to 18 months here of building products. But I saw this tweet from Yano this week and I was like, yep, that feels about right. And it is really interesting. I think the big thing for me is like how different it is from being on the outside and just looking into these companies and be like, oh, you should do this, versus actually just being in the trenches, like trying to navigate all this stuff and all the context that you have makes it so much more difficult. But how are we feeling about building a product and being a founder in the founder journey?
I'm going to give my reaction here, but first I'm going to say that this Mario run is, I've seen this video before, that run was crazy. That level of talent that we just saw there was pretty impressive. My favorite thing actually is, I don't know if you guys have seen this, but on TikTok now they'll do I'll get back to it, Lucas. Trust me. Just give me 1 second. Yeah. They'll do Shane Gillis clips, and then on the right side they'll do this like ring that falls down. There's like this little tube, and in the comments people are more invested in like the brain rot rings than they are in like the actual content that's on the left side. And even though it's like funny, like Shane Gillis, like comedy stuff, there's like this little ring thing that's happening that I find it's very interesting. It's very interesting. Anyways, Mario killing it. My thoughts on the product side are that, look, I've been in crypto for 7 or 8 years now. And the last year and a half is my first time really getting in the weeds on building a product. And it's become the most difficult thing I've ever done in my life, for sure. I just think the level of focus it requires and patience that it requires, and then knowing whether or not you're building the right thing, building the wrong thing, if it's going to amount to something, you're relying on your engineers and your designers to actually be able to actualize the thing that you want to build. It's an extremely volatile emotional roller coaster. No, we're doing brain rot out here.
What I was trying to do is like make it full screen so we had some brain rot for everyone while you go on your rant.
Nice. It's extremely emotionally challenging, and I think that I have felt more pressure and more self-doubt than I felt in a very long time building out the Coop Records product. And really just what it comes down to is like, do people actually care about this? Does what I'm building resonate to people? Do people want to use this? And how do you make this something that has momentum? Because you look at the agent space, look at everything happen with AI, and then I'm in this corner of the internet building this crypto label and this music product, and constantly ask myself, just like, do people even care about this? And what is the path that makes this actually click with the wider market in a way that all these other topics are on this podcast that we've talked about?
I think it's a
Anyone
blessing, to
else?
be honest. I commenting on like working in a niche that people don't care about right now, I think is a blessing, because I think looking back on this, if you were in the midst of like the AI bubble, like it's so noisy and just so much going on, and like it's hard to focus, versus right now just being in your own lane, kind of doing your thing and building something that you believe in that will be valuable in the future, I think is a lot nicer, especially during these quiet times. And I do think that, you know, if we are right in that concept of like media or music or art should all be on chain and there's a mania around it, I think like, yeah, it'll be nice, but it's going to be noisy and hectic, and there's going to be competitors, and there's going to be everything kind of coming at us from all angles. So I think being appreciative of this time, I think, is something that I am. I'll comment on the product stuff later, but yeah.
You alluded to this, Cooper, but I think it's what actually makes being a founder extremely hard is like, if you just had all the time in the world and the only thing you did was focus on your product and how to make it better, and you could clone versions of yourself with different skill sets, like it would be really hard, but it wouldn't be the hardest thing in the world. What makes it the hardest thing in the world is having a team, keeping those people motivated, updating your investors, staying on top of social media, staying on top of trends, changing direction, explaining to your team why everyone should change direction, even though, like, yes, you're the founder, at the end of the day, it's your call. But if you don't have people that believe in that slight pivot or that new feature that you're trying to release, it's not going to get done as quickly as you need it to. So I think that's the sauce right there. That's what makes it one of the hardest things in the world.
I agree. I think it's a lot of like managing all the externalities that you don't actually have direct control over, you know, like how quickly your devs ship something, or just all that kind of stuff. There's so many externalities that you can't control as a founder. And I really resonate with that, David, of like, if I could just clone myself with different skill sets, like might be a lot easier.
Yeah.
Might be more shit
Still
though, 'cause, like
impossible.
you don't have those checks and balances of someone being like, I think you're wrong on this, you know?
100%.
Chevy?
Shit's hard. Keep going. That's it.
What
That's all I have to say. That's all I have to say. Keep your head up, boys. Keep going. We got this.
All right,
Shit's
we'll call
hard.
it at that.
Yeah.
I'll add, like, on that keep going part, it's also one of the coolest things in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you get to like wake up every day and build something you believe in and go through the ups and the downs. I'm going to share something with the group that I'm trying to embrace for 2025, because I feel like this has been a mistake I make in the past. When things seem good, they're probably not as good as they seem. So, you know, when you get that like big NFT sale, big token drop, hire that person, and you think like, oh, like we're in, like we're flying now. You're probably not flying. And when the world seems like it's falling apart, whatever that is, and somebody leaves on the team, you have your 3 weeks delayed to get a feature out that you thought was going to take 1 week. It's also probably not as bad as we think it is in that moment. And I'm trying to bring that into 2025, because I think there were points in 2024 where like when things were good, I got a little too high, and when things were bad, I got a little too low. And realizing like it's just constant ups and downs, and if something's really good, there's something creeping around the corner, and that's okay. And if things are bad, they're probably going to get better, and we're just beating ourselves up because it's our companies.
I like it.
I like it. I would also plus one it is super fulfilling building a product and seeing something that didn't exist, you know, a year ago, and seeing all the traction and, you know, impacting people's lives, whether it is marginally or like on a really significant level, you know. I think that part has been the most fulfilling, despite the fact that it is, as you said, filled with a lot of highs and lows and just a lot of roller coaster emotions.
The biggest thing I took away from 2024 is make sure you dedicate time to step outside of what you're doing, because you could be running at 1,000,000 miles an hour, missing a lot of what's happening on left and right. And sometimes it really helps to just zoom out and spend enough time zooming out to see things for what they are and to see the big picture and try to understand where actually something is going versus getting lost in the day-to-day of it. So that's something I'm challenging myself to do more of in 2025. Like, time on keyboard and time in front of the screen doesn't really equate to productivity all the time. And give yourself the time to touch grass, but in a productive manner as well. So I'll add that. But I definitely echo, not to shit on anyone's parade. Honestly, that video of Mario was really like challenging my attention while you guys were speaking. It felt like fucking brain rot as you guys were having a really deep conversation. So that's
going,
that.
guys.
Knack,
We need
knack,
brain
knack.
rot.
He's staring
No?
at
Knack,
Mario. He's like,
knack,
keep going, guys. You can
Keep
do
going,
it.
guys.
Be like Mario. You can make it.
Exactly. Anything else on the agenda of Knack? We had Sonium, PMF or die. What else?
I mean, we definitely have a couple more agenda items. I just want to be sensitive about our time. And what are we, right at the hour now on this episode, Lucas?
Yeah, but
I've got to go soon. Unfortunately.
So I guess any other pressing topics, or do we want to go into closing thoughts here?
I think closing thoughts is good.
Closing thoughts.
my
David?
thoughts have closed. I'll tell you that much.
My thoughts are also pretty closed right now.
I guess as a
I would
closing
say,
thought is find PMF or die. That is the closing thought.
Well, I'll give a little closing thoughts here.
All right, go
Last
for
week
it.
after our episode, the cartel deliberated, and this podcast is going to be a very serious focus for us this year moving forward. I would like to give a quick shout out to Lucas, who sent out an amazing investor update for Pods this week, which was talking about their progress, all the growth they've made. And one of the line items here at the bottom was, we launched our new flagship podcast, Not a Cartel.
Flagship.
And so just know that Lucas has publicized it to his cap table. We all had a very deliberate internal conversation. And so if you're listening this far into it, thank you for bearing with us as we kind of got the wheels turning here. But just know that now we're back on a recurring basis, looking to do this every week, get a little bit more, in line with posting at the same time every week. So expect a lot more of Not a Cartel to come to a screen near you soon. A lot more knack.
Knack it up. Knack it up. Amazing, guys.
Amazing. All right. We love
All right, everyone.
We'll see you on chain.
See you on chain.
See you on chain.
Thanks.